What's going on? Welcome back to a new episode of Off the Bench. Of course, I'm DeMarcus.
I'm Ty.
Hey man, Ty, what's going on with you, man? How you been doing?
Good, man.
Doing good?
Yeah. How you doing? How is fantasy football? How did that end for you?
Okay.
All right. I was thinking about it. I was like, I wonder what happened with fantasy football. Who won our league? You
notice like last year I was like, beating my chest.
Yeah.
This year I ain't bring it up. I'm gonna tell you why, man. Because I lost.
You had 3 to still play, and you was down by 70.
Yes. So I'm going into that game, right?
Yeah.
I'm playing Ant's brother, Tim. And I'm like, all right. So he comes out the gate on fire. I'm like, but I got 3 guys playing in this Buffalo. I had Burrow. Mm-hmm. I ain't had Burrow. I had Allen. Yeah. I had Singletary, and I had Jamar Chase.
Yeah. Easily could have.
So I'm like, easily I can get 70 points between these 3.
Yeah.
So I go to the gym. Man, next thing I know, I go to check my phone. I said, hold on, man. Why ain't, like, what's going on? Yeah. It says game suspended. Yeah. I'm like, what the word has happened? Yeah. So then, of course, at my first mind, I was pissed. Yeah. But then, of course, I saw the Damar Hamlin thing happen. Yeah. So I was like, in my mind, I'm like, I've never experienced this in fantasy football. So how does this work? Like, do we keep playing each other into the next week or what's going on? Yeah. So next thing I know, I go to my fantasy app and it just says, congratulations on winning second place. I'm like, what the hell just happened? So I'm like, bro, I just lost to a technicality. And I mean, I'm not saying I would have won, but I mean, like I said, I would have liked to see, what my team would have done. But like I said, given Damar Hamlin's situation, I understand. Yeah. But yeah, bro, that was.
So like you and Tim, right?
Yeah.
Y'all didn't like come together and be like, all right, since this happened, let's let it.
No. So look, I'm gonna tell John too about this part.
I would have thought.
I'm gonna tell. So look, Ant texts me. It's like, hey Mark, so we're gonna, congratulations on winning second place, and what's your cash out so I can see your winnings. I'm like, wait a minute, we ain't gonna discuss, we ain't gonna talk about the first place winnings, because like I feel like we might need to split that, because we don't know who would have won. Yeah, but it like I said, I'm not mad. Like I say, it was cool. Like I said, this year second place. Last year I won it. Yeah, long as Nate didn't win.
Long as Nate didn't win. I don't care what happens.
I'm gonna tell you later. I love Nate. Shout out to Nate.
I was sabotaging game,
bro. Listen. I was trying to trade with Nate. Nate learned his lesson. I ain't trading with you. I ain't trading with Mark this year. He wouldn't give me no love. He wouldn't even send me back a bad trade or nothing. He just decline. And like nobody would trade with me this year. I was like, what's going on? Like everybody like, nah, Mark, we ain't finna help you. So I had to really, get on some savage life and battle. So when I got to the championship game, I was like, yeah, I told you I know how to GM. Yeah. So I was, but like I say, I ain't got no problem with Tim, my boy, and my boy. And we always, with our group, we always have a good league. So like I said, I'm excited for next year. But yeah, that's how it ended, man. So it didn't end on a good note for me, but it's understandable.
Well, shout out to Tim.
Yeah, shout out to Tim for winning. Yeah. I'll see you next year. All right, man. So let's get right into it, man. This is episode 17 of season 2, man. We rolling, man. We rolling. We fast approaching, over 100 episode, which I feel like for that time we gonna have to make that a big deal.
Oh yeah,
because to hit 100 episodes, like anybody that knows anything about podcasts or doing anything like what we're doing, it takes a lot to keep going. Yeah. With John, he has, a little illness, being sick, you being out of town, me being out of town. So to be able to keep it going and keep the platform growing, it's really big for me. And I thank y'all all the time for being a part of this, because like I said, I really see this thing growing into something really big. Yeah. So, all right, let's get right into this, man. So this first topic that I have, this topic, unlike the fantasy football, this one really like kind of hit me hard, because it kind of ticked me off, because I just feel like it hasn't been getting the media coverage it should have, like anything else. I feel like the energy isn't the same when the situation is, and it should be, a light should be shining on a whole lot more than it has. And what I'm talking about, for anybody that don't know, Dana White.
Oh yeah.
Basically, I wouldn't say beat her up. I don't want to go that far, but slapping his wife on camera in front of thousands of people, and like literally, I have seen barely any to none on him doing that.
Yeah.
But you look at other situations, like we talked about the Kyrie situation. We talked about, Kanye West. And I've seen so much energy on these dudes, and they need to apologize, and they need to do this community service. They need to give back here. They need to talk to these people, talk to that people. And this man literally did what he did, and like nobody has put that pressure on him. Yeah. Jerry Jones and his photo. Nobody put pressure on these gentlemen to say, hey man, say you don't condone this. You need to speak to people. You need to speak to this. You need to come out and do this. And like he went on and had an actual press conference where he was like, what do y'all think should happen? Should I disappear for 30 days? What's that going to do? Yeah. So basically let me know like, okay, so care. It's like, you know that ain't nothing going to be done to you because who you are. And it really bothers me that we don't, as a community whole, put pressure on these gentlemen when that stuff happens.
Yeah. And I think like, for that to happen, it's going to have to start with fans, and it's going to have to start with his fighters. Yeah. They're not going to happen because it's still going to put money in his pockets. Yeah. They just had a fight this weekend, and then people watched it.
Yeah, exactly.
Sold out arena.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you said, you got to hold these people accountable, and there's nobody in UFC to basically check him.
Yeah. Because like you say, if you think NFL,
you have all these
you got
owners.
You got this
Well, they're not owners. Well, NFL still owners. NBA, they're governors. But you have owners and governors in these other sports that can be like, all right, let's vote you out. Yeah, yeah. Him, he's pretty much the president, the top guy. He's half owner of it. Yeah. So who's gonna say? And basically, that's what his interview basically gave me. Like, yeah, that happened. Yeah, it happened on
and it's
camera.
And it's a first time. And I'm like,
I don't think they said it happened before.
No, he was saying that was the first time that ever happened to that extreme. So I'm thinking, so y'all have abuse in your relationship in general. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, but go ahead, finish.
But yeah, it's basically like the interview was like, who's gonna check me? Like,
that's
what's gonna happen.
Same thing I felt.
Nothing is gonna happen. He said, if I go away for 30 days, well, no. Sell your rights, give it up, Like you said, say you don't condone it. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's
and like I say, just like they was talking about Kyrie needing to, meet with Jewish community leaders and he needed to donate to these charities and he needed to do all this work and come out and publicly apologize for what he said and what he did so people can move past it. And I feel like with Dana White, they haven't even checked him on any of that.
Ray Rice situation.
Like I feel like certain individuals, man, they just give more energy and they want to break them more than the next person. And we already know status and power for sure influences all of that. Because like I said, I haven't seen ESPN or anybody show a lot of heavy coverage. Of course. They spent 3 weeks on Kyrie. Everybody had an opinion. Everybody had something to say about him. And then Dana White does what he does. And like literally it's 30-second window on ESPN. They show his little interview and I haven't heard nothing else about it.
That's it.
So I wanted to bring it up on our platform because I just want the same energy, like for real, across the board. I don't care what it is.
Yeah. I wonder why ESPN hasn't unplugged them from ESPN Plus.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, they would, Kyrie lost his Nike deal. Oh, we don't want to deal with you. We're going to sell your shoe for $30. We ain't even trying to deal with you no more. So that's what I'm saying. Like that type of stuff, they feel like what he did was harmful to a lot of people. Okay, well, Dana White hitting his wife. Yeah, they've been married for almost 30 years. But what about women that see that? And then they turn around and see the coverage that's not there. So even the women that are dealing with the situations, they don't feel the courage to stand up for themselves, possibly because they see, oh, okay, so my individual that I'm with, he's not as powerful as Dana White, but he has status. Yeah. So would they believe me or would they do anything to him for doing what he did to me? So that's why I wanted to bring it up on our platform, just get that out the way. I just feel like as a collective whole, as a society, we got to get back to a point where it's like, I don't care if you black, white, green, purple, blue. You do something. You got to, first off, you got to stand up and say, okay, I acknowledge it was wrong. Then you have to, you got to say, I don't condone it. And then you got to do the work of saying, okay, here's what I'm going to do to make sure that this situation don't happen again. Because to do that the way he did it, like, bro, like I said, he was too comfortable for me to see from what I seen
in the interview.
Yeah. And then TMZ, when they posted the actual video of him in the club and all that stuff, you were just too comfortable to do that. So that's just my opinion on it. But all right, so moving forward, let's go straight into NFL. Let's go coach of the year candidate for the NFL. Because it's been an interesting year this year. So who would you say is coach of the year?
Me and G talked about it. Shout out to Garen.
Yeah. And Lydia, I know they got the baby coming soon. Yeah. Congratulations on your baby girl.
We talked about it, and I think I would say Doug Peterson.
Yeah, that's the first person came to my mind. And also, of course, the coach from the Giants too.
Oh, Brian Dable. And also, why not throw Dan Campbell into it? Throw him in there.
Oh, with the Lions. Yep.
Yeah. So
I hate they didn't make the playoffs, man.
Yeah, me neither.
I wish they would have made the playoffs. I'm not saying they would have done anything, but it was like it's just the story of what they did. It was amazing.
I think those three definitely deserve head coach. Head coach of the year nominations. Okay. I would give it to Doug Peterson though.
Doug Peterson, definitely Doug Peterson, because like I said,
went from number 1 pick to
and I just think the trend. Like I said, I feel like the Giants last year they had a lot of similar players. So they just kind of, he just kind of walked into a team that was already kind of put together pretty good. Mm-hmm. And then even with like Dan Campbell, I feel like his team was pretty good. He just his leadership and motivation of them is what pushed them to where they are now. But I feel like I said, Doug coming in, he changed the whole thing
Kyle
around.
Shanahan?
Who?
Kyle Shanahan. Had to start with three different quarterbacks. Went on an 11-game win
But you got one of the best defenses in the league.
That's true.
Debo Sanders, one of the best. I guess you can call him two-way player because he's a wide receiver / running back / quarterback. He's all they got. And then, of course, you should have no problem when you pick up one of the best running backs in the league. Mm-hmm. So, and then you got top 2 tight end in the league. And you don't need a great quarterback when you have those type of players.
That's true.
So, no, I really can't give him that. But, yeah, definitely the 3 we talked about, I would give it to them. All right, let's go player of the year in the NFL. Who would you give that to?
Could give it to Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Could give it to Mahomes.
Okay.
I don't think you could lose with either one of those.
Okay. So as I was putting this together, in my mind, I was going Hurts for MVP. So I go him MVP, and then like best player, like player of the year, I would probably go your boy Jefferson from Minnesota.
Okay. Well, in the NFL they have offensive and defensive player of the year
exactly
for each conference as
which I have on here too. So let's do that. So I'll combine that. So you got player of the year and then you got offensive player of the year. Who would you go player of the year and then offensive player of the year?
Player of the year, I'll probably go with Jalen Hurts.
Okay, Jalen Hurts.
Just because also what happened when they didn't have him.
How the team looked without him. Yeah. So we can kind of say MVP / player of the year. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then offensive player of the year, where would you go?
Offensive player of the year, I'll probably stick the same.
Jefferson.
No, not Jefferson. I'll go Hurts.
Oh, you go Hurts again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Jefferson,
because of his impact. Yeah.
Jefferson did have a tremendous season. Like we talked about, I think not the last episode, but the episode before, he should have been in the MVP race. Yeah. Granted, after we said that, Jair Alexander locks him down. Had a terrible playoff performance and kind of just goes in no man's land. But it happens. It's a different ball game after week 15, pretty much.
Gotcha.
So I would definitely go with Jalen Hurts as my MVP.
All right, let's go. Let's stay in the NFL. Let's talk coaches. Do you care about Sean Payton coming back to the league? I know they took my Broncos, a couple different people.
Depends on what team he goes to.
Okay.
If he goes to a team that he has to rebuild, it's gonna take him a while.
Yeah.
If he goes to a team that's ready to go, then if you go to Broncos, I think he could turn around there. I like the fact that they hinted that he's already building up his staff already.
Yeah. And like I say, he already got some names in mind of who he gonna bring with him, whichever team he go to, because it's about 4 or 5 teams that he's already spoken to. That's very interesting. I know Broncos is one of the main ones that they're saying that he probably will go to is the Broncos.
What can Denver give them though? Because you're gonna have to trade picks or something to him to get to him,
and they don't have much because like I said, all the money they gave to Russell,
and the picks they gave to Seattle.
They gave to Seattle. So that's why I said for him, I don't think that's a good situation for him to go to. But we'll say. But and then now staying on coaches, Tell me, do you agree or disagree that the LA Chargers coach should have been fired before he even got on the plane when they played the Jaguars?
I mean, it's the second year in the league.
I ain't trying to hear that,
It's the second year in the league.
Come on, man.
Second year in the league.
27-point lead.
First time in the playoffs.
Ty.
It's not just him. It's coordinators too.
They fired the coordinator. Yeah, they fired him. They let him go. The next day, they fired him.
Nah,
come on, Ty.
Head coach,
Ty. 27-point lead.
I think it's other factors, not just him.
Ty, they should have fired that man before the plane turned. Before the jet took off, they should have had a phone call to him. Hey, man, don't even get on my jet. You can't 27-point lead, Ty. Come on, man. Because yes, I get it. There are other parts. You got defensive coordinator, you got offensive coordinator. But hey, I'm the head coach, so I can override some stuff.
Yeah.
Come on, man. We 27-point lead. We can't lose a 27-point lead.
I'm not firing him.
You're not firing him.
Nah. Got him to the playoffs. They was, I think, one game away from the playoffs last year. His first year. Gets to the playoffs this year. He has a lot of growing up to do and coaching to do.
Yeah.
Because I think last year when they played Oakland right in front of the playoffs, he did something weird with a timeout.
Yeah. And then ended up costing them the game.
Pretty much.
Which would cost, because the Raiders, when the Raiders won, that put them in the
field goal.
That put them in the playoffs.
And then put my Steelers into the playoffs.
And put the Steelers. Because I think it was like a 3-way tie between Steelers, Raiders, and the Chargers. Mm-hmm. And if their Chargers would have won, they would have been in regardless. And then I think if y'all won, y'all in regardless.
No,
or y'all had
he had the Chargers to lose.
Chargers to lose for y'all to get in.
Lost. Yeah.
So if they would have won, they'd have put the Raiders and y'all out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I said, he did a questionable call last year. He did, blow a pretty much 30-point lead this year. Yeah. It's coaching woes. Second year in. I mean, next year if this happens, then he's out. Okay. But it's pretty much learning experience for him.
Okay. Let's go back to San Francisco. I know you mentioned about them having the quarterbacks and all that.
Yeah.
Would you say Brock Purdy? Is he the future for the 49ers based off what you're seeing now, or do you think they go back to Lance?
I think you kind of still go back to Lance.
Okay. And then Jimmy gone.
Yeah, Jimmy gotta go. Okay. I mean, I think you still have to sell Jimmy while he's high. He's coming off injury. Yeah. But
somebody will pick him up. I mean, I don't know who would, but somebody will give Jimmy, because Jimmy does have, like I said, he don't have the best resume, but he's a solid quarterback.
What about like a team like Carolina, who might not get one
that's what I'm saying.
3 quarterbacks?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Somebody like that, Carolina. I mean, as bad as Houston, teams like that, I think would probably want a Jimmy.
If I'm Houston, I'm trying to get Bryce Young.
I don't like that for them. I don't like that for them. I know they trying to trade with Chicago to get the number 1 pick right now.
I wouldn't trade with them.
No, if I'm Chicago,
unless there's a team out that's coming in, and then you have to. But you don't know that as a GM. You don't know if Carolina's trying to jump you or.
No, I agree. Like I say, I don't think Bryce Young comes into Houston and be that quarterback.
Not his first 3 or 4 years.
Because they just don't have anything put together that's going to help him. Transition into the NFL well. So, but unfortunately, that's the nature of being the number 1 pick, or top 5 pick. Yeah. You most of the time gonna get picked by the bad team.
Yeah. So, and it's up to the franchise to turn it around.
And
also, I feel like wherever he goes, he needs to get a offensive-minded coach to help him.
Yeah, to help build. Yeah, because I think looking at young guys now, the issue, which I think Doug Peterson learned by going to Trevor, is that, we got to build an offense around their skill set versus, hey, here's our offense, now you do what we need you to do within our offense.
I think that's the same thing with look at Mac Jones this year compared to last year. Mm-hmm. He had
McDaniels gone. Josh
this
McDaniels
year
gone.
He looked like crap, and he technically doesn't have an offensive coordinator.
So standing with the Josh McDaniels leaving, man, what you think about this whole Carr situation? Because I got it down here in my notes, but I'm gonna go ahead and skip down to it. Like Derek Carr, this came out of nowhere for me, for him to just all of a sudden be done with the Raiders. Mm-hmm. Do you think it's like a coaching thing, or what do you think? He just signed an extension with them.
Yeah, I would say he just signed an extension. It could be a scheming thing too.
Okay.
So he might not fit the scheme of him.
Of what McDaniels want to do.
It's a lot of things that people don't understand about football. Yeah. Football and basketball is kind of different because you got 22 players that you have to fit into a scheme.
Yeah.
Basketball, you can scheme around what you have.
Yeah, I got it.
It's hard to, your coaching is so set on this one style of play that when you pretty much try to transition into that, it's hard. Like, you can't have somebody like Kyle Shanahan come in and try to coach the Titans. Yeah, the Titans is hard because they're a run first team.
He like to pass the ball.
Yeah, he like to play action and stuff like that.
And you don't have the necessary quarterback, tight end, or wide receiver ratio to be able to be effective with that. So it'll come out looking real bad on offense. Yeah.
So it's hard, and like I said, the NFL is a little different, but I think it's a scheme wise because you see Jerry Stidham comes in and pretty much balls out.
Yeah.
And Derek Carr sucked it up all season.
Yeah.
Derek Carr, he pretty much wrote his letters to the fans like, "Hey, I'm out."
Yeah. I mean, because
where do he go? Where do you see him?
That's what I was about to ask you. I don't know, because it's like we talked about earlier. Houston needs a quarterback. We know
I feel like
the Jets need a quarterback.
Yeah.
We know who else out there that need a quarterback? Washington, because they just straight up get Heineke. I thought Heineke was the new man for them, and they gave up on him like that and went back to Carson Wentz trash self.
Carson Wentz should be out the league.
It should be out the league, and so it's the same thing with him. Where did he go? So like teams like that, I just think like you just said, the biggest thing about it is the type of offense they're trying to play or trying to run don't fit these quarterbacks. So with David Carr, do you go to a spread offense? Like, where do you go? Even like the 49ers, that would be a good pick for him, but I don't see them going after him because, like I said, they got two young studs right now, especially now. But with Brock, if he win, let's say he go to Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, do you still go to Trey Lance?
I think you kind of got to ride the Brock wave and see how long they last.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So I and the other teams out there, David, Carr just don't. I feel like he just don't fit because they already got a quarterback. So
I would put David Carr with somebody like the Titans.
Yeah.
Washington.
Because they'll take the pressure off of them. And like I said, because now you got a solid running back and you ain't got too much to go out there and do. Yeah. But then that hurts Devontae Adams too, because now
Devontae Adams, we're a package deal.
You know what I'm saying? Because I left because my one quarterback wouldn't stand up for me. Yeah. They come over and play with my boy, and now y'all shift my boy out. So what I'm supposed to do? Yeah. So I agree with you. Yeah, we'll package deal.
Yeah.
All right, let's go comeback player of the year for the NFL. There's only one name for me that popped up when I put this together, and it was instant.
Comeback. I'm trying to think who came back. You go ahead.
Geno Smith.
Oh, that's a good one.
To from what he's been through in his career, playing on bad teams and then being bad himself, taking accountability of his bad play, to be in Seattle. Russell Wilson leaves, and they like, oh, they just tanking this year. They not, we're not trying to worry about winning. We're gonna have to find a quarterback to take them to the playoffs and be as efficient as he was, and show the NFL that Geno Smith is a solid quarterback. I feel like he earned the right to be comeback player of the year in that regard.
That's not a bad pick. I don't really know who missed a tremendous amount of time last year. This came back and just absolutely balled out. Geno Smith, yeah. That's
Smith?
Nice.
Okay.
Nice pickup.
Okay. All right, so let's go. Stan, we're gonna go on Aaron Rodgers now. How much blame do you place on Aaron Rodgers for what happened with the Packers this year, missing the playoffs? And then also, subpar question. Now, do we have the same offseason drama that we had last year with him? Because he already talking about he don't know if he want to come back and all that. So
it's Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. I mean, you got to go through it with him. You don't want to.
Yeah.
But I think you got to. It's either that.
But
it's either that or start Jordan Love.
That's what I'm saying. So I feel like, okay, why go through all that and just keep Jordan Love on the shelf? And then, at some point we gotta, like I said, we gotta break from this cycle. Because like, okay, Aaron, yeah, you're great. Don't get me wrong. Yes, you still can play, but it's like the results they're not there. For us to miss the playoffs, like the game we gotta win in Green Bay, and you don't come through and I know everybody want to say, well, he played with a broken thumb, and all right, cool, yeah. But still, like, it's at some point it's like, all right, just like we were talking about with TB in our last episode. At some point we gotta start relieving. Hey man, these dudes, they've done all they can for us. We got to move on. I mean, we got a young quarterback, which from what I've seen, Jordan Love has shown promise. to be a good quarterback.
Yeah. Who gets the blame if Aaron Rodgers doesn't get the blame then?
I go the head coach then.
I wouldn't go head coach. I would go to front office.
Well, I mean, it's a publicly owned franchise.
They still have a GM though.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Why is it? I would fire the GM. Well, try to figure out how to fire the GM.
Well, I'll say the owners, they want him. So
he's terrible. Why would you let Devontae Adams go?
Hey, I'm with you. It makes no sense to
me. You let Devontae Adams go. You let Valdez-Scantling go.
Yep.
You beef up your defense, but
Watson was good for him.
He's not Devontae Adams.
He's not, but I'm just saying, I mean, what he, in that second half of the season, what he was able to do with Aaron Rodgers, the chemistry they was able to develop, he showed promise to be a solid wide receiver moving forward.
He's not Devontae Adams.
He's not Devontae Adams. I agree.
You lose Devontae Adams, you lose 40% of your offense productivity.
Yeah. So, I agree on that.
Yeah, I mean, you got Aaron Jones, Dillard.
Yeah.
One of them got to get shipped off.
I got you. Okay.
Aaron Rodgers taking up a bulk of your money.
Yeah, $50 million.
Offensive line is trash.
Yeah.
Defense is solid.
You got a solid running back with Aaron Jones.
Yeah, your defense is solid.
Mm-hmm.
You lose the offense pretty much.
Yeah.
So
okay. All right, let's talk. How about them Cowboys, man? Let's talk about the Cowboys for a little bit. You know, they in Dallas. You know.
I don't want it.
All right, so you know, like I said, this is playoff Sunday.
Yeah.
So they playing San Francisco later today. Mm-hmm. Let's just pick the game. Who you got winning that game?
I don't care.
You don't care?
I don't care.
Wow.
Not about this game.
You sound salty, man.
I'm not salty. It's just San Francisco win. They gonna get smacked by. I don't think they're gonna get smacked. I think they have a better chance of beating Philly because of their defense.
Yeah. But you think Philly to the Super Bowl regardless?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially the way they looked against the Giants last night.
Yeah, they did. They stomped them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They kind of shocked me. Mm-hmm. They shocked me with their ability to just especially after what the Giants did against Minnesota, which we're gonna talk about Minnesota here in a second.
Yeah.
I was shocked to see how Philadelphia stomped them like that.
I feel like if San Francisco play Philly and with their defense and their lockdown secondary, it's gonna be a long day for Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I think so.
Long day.
And I think and for me, like I said, that like we were talking about a few minutes ago about Brock, these next two games is going to show, I think, the 49ers if they should stay with him or they should wait for Trey to come back and then put Trey back in. Because if he goes out, plays well today, don't do nothing crazy, has a nice statistical, game like he did last game against the Seahawks, and he goes into the championship game and they do the same thing and then they make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Then he looked like Joe Burrow type year. Where it's like, okay, we weren't looking for you to do much, but you did a lot with what opportunities you had. Yeah. So
I think that like I said, San Francisco will have a better chance with Philly. Just because San Francisco defense is just as stout as Philly's defense.
Yeah, that'll be a great game.
That offensive line of Philly, better.
You think it's better than 49ers offensive line?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Philly probably got the best offensive and defensive line in the NFL right now.
Okay.
Especially AJ Brown, Smith.
No, I think I honestly think whoever wins that game between, like say, 49ers and the Eagles gonna win the Super Bowl. I think the winner out of that game, when they play in the Super Bowl, they win the Super Bowl.
No, I don't think San Francisco gonna win. If San Francisco makes it to the Super Bowl, I think the AFC can win.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think the Bengals or the Bills will beat them?
Yeah.
Or KC too?
I don't know about Kansas City.
Yeah. Well, we know Mahomes got hurt, so
he out there with one leg.
Yeah.
That's hard. He said he didn't do anything crazy to it, but
if you watched the game, you saw the man was limping. Yeah. He couldn't even step into his passes no more.
If I was him, I'd be hitting up Aaron Rodgers. Hey, how you do that jump pass?
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's talk about the Rams a little bit. What's going on with Sean McVay, man? Because they talking about he needed a break from the team, and he got to figure out what he want to do. Like, bro, you
just want a Super Bowl.
Like what's all the drama about? You need time apart from the team. I know you had a bad year, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But you was, you had injuries all across the board, and I mean,
it really wasn't that good anyway. Without the injuries.
Exactly. Yeah.
You lose Odell Beckham Jr. You lose Von Miller.
Yeah.
Granted, you got Bobby Wagner. You got Robinson, but you lose pass rush, you lose pretty much a weapon that you have to double team in the OBJ.
Yeah.
So you losing the scheme on both sides.
Yeah.
You know, Robert Morris was up for, a head coaching position last year, but this year it's just like, ooh.
Yeah.
Do you want to pick him up? Sean McVay, he's still young. He's still
I mean,
one of the youngest head coaches.
So I feel like, to me, it's a lot of nothing going on with all the situation. But I just wanted to bring it on the podcast, just see what you thought. But yeah, I'm with you. Like, bro, y'all had a bad year last year. Y'all weren't that great. Y'all just clicked at the right time to get to Super Bowl and win. 'Cause I still think the Bengals should have beat them. But like I said, I feel like it's a little bit being blown out of proportion with him. Not needing want to be away. I get you had a bad year, so you just want some time away from football, trying to figure out how to rebuild off of what you lost.
I think the hardest thing too is they don't have a draft pick.
They don't.
They don't have a first round pick.
They sold the house to win that Super Bowl.
Detroit,
to Detroit. They gave it all away for that. So
that's another reason why. I mean, it could be the same reason why Sean Payton stepped away. We live in a day and age now where everybody needs a break from their 9 to 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
You need
especially when you've been doing it for so 30 long. Years. Yeah. You've been doing it all your life. Yeah. So you get tired of the same routine over and over again. Yeah. And then they say going from, all right, I built up this, the team, got it like I want, and then they let everybody walk out the door. Now they want me to rebuild it and all that. It becomes too much of a situation sometimes. Let's talk about Tua, man. So what do you think Tua's future is in the league? Like, do you feel like there's a chance that this man can end up being out of the league, man, from all these injuries, or do you think he's gonna bounce back from this?
I hope he doesn't.
Yeah.
He made it. I don't know if that was a real post or not. I seen some post on social media.
Yeah.
It was like, it felt like he was finna retire.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if he was just thanking the fans for the season. It was weird.
Yeah.
But it's just a scary thing, One more, he could be for life.
Yeah, I mean, because he can really, like I say, when you talking about the amount of concussion he had, let's say he come back in next year and like first couple of games he get another one, I just don't see him being able to play football no more. Yeah. Because he's gonna be too much of a risk. Because he go out there and bang his head wrong, and then he on that field passed out.
Yeah.
From these concussions. Now the NFL gonna have a real problem in hand. So I think liability wise, you got to be real careful with him in Miami, especially because they've dropped the ball on taking care of him. I know they fired the doctor, the physical therapist, the head one. They fired him, but you got to watch out for this kid because he's young. I get it, but he also, you don't need him, having a real issue later on down the road.
3 concussions in one season.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, and I think they left him out the playoffs for a reason.
Oh yeah.
Somebody brought up a good point. Lamar Jackson to the Dolphins.
Yeah, I like that. Because he from Miami.
From Miami.
So I think that, and then they got a solid defense.
Yeah.
So I think, and then they got decent wide receivers between Hill, Waddle, and what's his name, Gursky is the tight end.
I know you're talking about. I can't think of it right now. Yeah.
But yeah, they got a tight end and offensive line decent. So I can see Lamar going there.
If you don't.
But I don't know if they're going to be able to give him all the money, though. I don't know if Miami had that money to give him that he wants.
I think they,
because the guarantee is the biggest thing for Lamar.
Yeah. I think if you keep to it, you're going to have to shore up that offensive line more than what you got now.
Yep.
You got to protect it, man.
Yeah. Because it's, like I said, man, them 3 concussions were vicious. And like you say, you watch him stumble. You watching him lock up on the field, like, so it just
and 3 interceptions.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And because my boy that I work with, he's a huge Miami fan. He came to work the next day and say, "Mark, he was concussed."
I was at that game. I didn't think about it.
He's like, "Nah." I'm like, "Man, nah." He just was reading the defense wrong. And then next thing I know, the next day they come out and say, "Yeah, he was playing concussed." I'm like, "Bro, what is wrong with Miami?" They gonna let this man be on the field and he can't see straight.
Yeah, like
it just didn't make no sense to me. But I'm worried for him because I think he's a solid quarterback in the NFL, and he was on track to have a great season, and I think Miami would have been a better position for the playoffs if he would have not been hurt as much as he was. So, all right, so like I mentioned earlier, we're gonna talk about the Minnesota Vikings, man. Are the Minnesota Vikings a bunch of frauds, man?
Yeah,
because I'm sick and tired.
I called that.
11-4. What was it? 12-3 this year. I think 11-5 last year. Like every year, bro, they're so great until it's time to be great.
Yeah, I mean, this is their head coach first season too, so
Yeah.
You got to give them a little grace for that.
I mean, but with all the talent that they have, and I'm convinced now that Cousins got to go. I'm convinced now.
Where did he go?
I don't know, but somebody got to go, man. Because like,
he making 30-something mil.
I mean, I know he ain't easy to get rid of, but
I mean,
at the same time, it's like, man, come on, like I don't know what else y'all need to see for y'all to realize that this ain't the quarterback for y'all.
It's another thing too. So if you get rid of Kirk Cousins, who do you bring in to continue that level of play that you have? He's a great regular season quarterback.
Yeah, but
playoffs, playoff in prime time, he doesn't show up.
No, he don't. Because I think it was a stat they were saying like for prime time game, like Monday night games, like he had a losing record.
Oh yeah, I think it was like 1-8 or
it was
1 and something.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he only had one win.
Yeah,
and it was bad. So like, but that makes sense. Like I say, every time you watching a prime time game, he don't show up. And in those games, that's when you need your quarterback the most because, like I said, defensively they're stout.
Yeah,
and then they got enough weapons on offense to where they should be able to have no problem making a long run in the playoffs.
Yeah. If I'm Minnesota, I'm coming to Kirk Cousins. Hey, I need you to take a pay cut.
Yeah. Cause we got to go out there and try to find somebody.
Get something for you.
You got to try to go out there and find something.
Thielen that's aging. Yeah, you just brought in T.J. Hawkinson.
Yeah.
You got to shore up some offensive line positions.
Yeah.
Running backs are good. Defense is, like you said, is okay, but Patrick Peterson could retire any moment. Smith is getting older.
Yep. So your window's closing.
Yes.
On your opportunity to make a run at Super Bowl.
Yeah. Especially with Green Bay being who Green Bay is now.
You got to
run that NFC North.
You got to take advantage of this opportunity. Okay. All right. So let's stay in the NFL. Did you see Brian Leftwich got fired?
Man, that was.
Were you surprised?
It's not surprised, but it's surprising. I think I heard rumbles about it from my sources.
Okay. From my sources.
I heard rumble from some NFL sources saying that he could be fired, but I don't see why they would fire him because I don't think the season was on him.
No, I don't think so either.
Tom Brady had the most passing yards.
Yeah.
I think he's ever had this year or something like that. He had something where he was pretty much. I think he led the league in yards or something like that passing. But it's not him. It's what you built around him. You shored up your defense.
I don't think that was the answer to not Tom Brady, but to Tampa Bay's problem to say let's get rid of Leftwich. I don't think it was his fault. Like I said, injuries. They just could never find a rhythm this year like they did the last 2 years. So I think now it could be they let him go because he wasn't able to recognize, okay, this is what I got, so I got to kind of change it up to fit what I do have versus what I wish I had. And maybe that could be a reason why I let him go. But I didn't agree with the firing. I felt like that was a little too reactive to what happened this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing like I said about Robert Morris. He was up for a head coaching position last year, but this year it's just like, oh, no, we're not gonna give it to him. Yeah,
that's true. So. All right, man, let's transition to NBA. I got a few on here I wanna go over with you that I think would be good. All right, so starting first, I know we was talking about off camera about John Wall and his comments about the Houston Rockets and what they got going on with these young players, because this year has been very rocky. Players getting into it, no real veteran leadership on the team. So let's talk to me a little bit about the impact of young players in the NBA on bad teams. What do you think that's doing to those players?
Oh, I think in the interview, John Wall said, hey, if you go to anywhere else, it's not going to happen like this.
Yeah, a lot of stuff they're doing won't be tolated.
Yeah, because you got veterans there, you got people that's trying to win and want to win. But you got a team like you said, the Rockets or OKC finally turning around, but people just doing everything for a check or doing everything pretty much for
themselves
now or for themselves. So there's no real basketball going on there, and it starts with the front office down to the head coach, down to the players, and no veteran leadership. Your oldest person there was John Wall,
but now it's Eric Gordon now.
He don't want to be there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And a lot of it, I think, is because of all the young players and just them not being willing to listen and be shown the right way. They just kind of trying to figure out on their own because they know, well, I'm liked by the basketball community, so that's enough. Versus saying, nah, you don't know how to be a professional though for real in the NBA. Yeah. So I think that's why he having an issue with them.
Look at every team that's in the playoff run and their veterans that they have. They all have that veteran presence. Houston doesn't.
So which I don't. With what the things are going there, I don't see them ever getting another superstar soon. But I eventually,
unless they draft them.
Yeah, unless they draft them.
Is Jalen Green a superstar? Well, could he be a superstar?
No, not right now. I think he can be potentially, I feel like, maybe an all-star, but definitely not a franchise or a superstar player right now. They have
great young players too.
They do got some talented young players.
What, they got DeMarcus Smith Jr.
Which I like I said, I haven't watched Houston enough this year because of course they don't televise their games unless you have league pass. Yeah. But I haven't seen much of Jabari Smith to say either he is, potentially that guy or exactly.
I feel like he's in that bubble where can I take over this, be my team, or do I still let Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. Is it their team?
Yeah, and I think too for Kevin Porter Jr. like Houston saved his career because he was out the door because when he was in Cleveland, he they was talking about getting rid of him in the NBA because like nobody's like no he can't play. He go to Houston now he reinvents himself. He's become a better player, and I think he's having a better career there. But still, like I said, that leadership is important when you're talking about really harnessing on these young talent so Jalen Green can turn into a superstar player because now he has somebody around him that he can trust that can lead him, in the right direction. So, all right, so let's go. Do you think Steph Curry is a modern day Jordan?
No.
Why not?
I mean, he's a game changer and style of he changed the style of play of basketball, but modern day Jordan, nah, I don't think so. Just because of what Jordan did, both sides of the ball. Yeah. What he did off the court, being a phenom off the court as well. Shoe deal, Nike, golf, baseball, everything all around. Jordan was just all around everything.
He was different.
Yeah. Yeah. But Steph Curry, like I said, he changed the game of how basketball is seen now.
Okay. Now, I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to say yeah. And this is the reason why. Because when you go to, any arena, one of the jerseys you see more than anything is Steph Curry. I don't care if it's in Golden State, the visiting team, at the opposing team's arena, you see Steph Curry. Like you're just talking about the impact of changing and, the evolution of the three ball. He brought that. Yeah. When you're talking about how you do it, when you do it, to the volume he's done it. And then you look at him, how he's carried the franchise. Even though he had the two with KD, everybody felt like he was the best player on that team. But if you look at Curry as a whole over his career with Golden State, he's brought them to the level they are now. And then you look at, like I say, no, he didn't have a Nike shoe deal, but he got Under Armour, and he's the reason why Under Armour basketball shoes are selling. Yeah. And then just his impact as a whole too outside of basketball too. So I would say he's not Jordan, but I would say his impact is similar to Jordan in the game. Yeah.
I think I respect that.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I gave him that, just because of that.
Is he the best player of the decade?
Best player of the decade?
Yeah. I seen something where it said LeBron has never been the best player of his decades while playing.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about that, about Steph Curry being the best player of the decade. That's I have to look into that and see. But I don't know about that one.
Let us know.
Yeah. Comment down below and let us know. We'll talk about that on the next episode. But yeah, that's a good question. All right, so staying on LeBron. When LeBron passes Kareem on the scoring list, is he the best scorer of all time or greatest scorer of all time?
No, he had 20 plus years to do this.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Because I was looking up stats if you was gonna go against it. Because
I'm going against it.
Because I'm with you. Because like I said, I looked up Michael Jordan and I looked up everybody when you're talking about scoring in the NBA, and Michael Jordan is number one when you're talking about the most average, the highest average per game.
I think one year he almost averaged like 36 points per game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So when you're talking about just pure scoring, and everybody's listening to this, because I know there's a lot of LeBron fans that I know. And I get it, but we're just strictly talking scoring right now. LeBron is 27.1, and then Michael's almost 31 points a game is what his career average was. Yeah. So we're talking about just scoring. Now, granted, yes, he scored more than Michael, scored more than Kobe, and he's going to pass Kareem here soon. But he should. When you look at the amount of games he's played compared to when Michael played and all these other players, them boys went to school and then went to the NBA. Yeah. He came straight 18 years old and been playing since then.
His first injury wasn't really until
the bubble. I think it was a bubble. He hurt his ankle.
First major injury. Yeah. Well, I think.
Was it a groin? Was it a groin issue? But either way, he's been injury free. He hasn't had to worry about no injuries.
15 plus years of no injuries.
Exactly.
Yeah, you playing pretty much 80-some games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was bound to happen, and I'm happy it happened with LeBron.
Exactly.
We got to see this record beaten.
Yeah. So that's why for me is, and that's another reason why I keep, I've always been Michael over LeBron, just because less time, more impact, in my opinion, versus if he had the same amount of time in the league as LeBron, I don't think the stats are even close. The numbers aren't even close if he played the same amount of time consistently like Michael did. I mean, like LeBron has.
Well, I think Jordan retired twice.
Mm-hmm.
He only really got 16 years in the league, maybe
15 for real years.
Yeah,
because Washington's like, okay, he's 45 years old
and was still averaging 30.
And still was top 10 in scoring at 45 years old. So that's why I say, so I agree with you. Yeah, he's not the best scorer all time. All right, so I got a few more, man, that we're gonna get out of here. Question about Shaquille O'Neal, real quick. Mm-hmm. Do you think Shaquille O'Neal would have been as great as he was if Kobe Bryant was never his teammate?
Yeah.
Really?
I think he was still dominant. Look, I mean, he took Orlando to the playoffs.
Yeah, but they didn't win, though.
Championship. Yeah, they faced the dream in his prime.
But he didn't win, though. He didn't start winning until he got Kobe.
They put out a Michael Jordan Bulls team.
So Michael Jordan wasn't Michael Jordan at that time.
This was right in the middle of his comeback.
Exactly. He's coming back.
Oh, my God.
He's coming back. Come on, man. All right, so they put him out, but then they didn't win. And then they didn't go back because the team broke up.
Yeah.
And then he went to L.A.
That's the
he went to L.A.
front office.
He went to L.A. and then he did
got a better offensive scheme.
He did, but he wasn't winning until who?
Phil Jackson.
No. No, sir. Try again. Try again. No. Till Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bean Bryant came, he started winning.
Granted, they both was putting up like 20-some points. I think they averaged the same all throughout the years that they was there.
Yeah, they did. But real close.
Even Shaq said Penny over Kobe.
Well, of course he might say that, but that, okay, probably because he had a better relationship with Penny than he did Kobe. But you're not gonna tell me Kobe wasn't a better player. This
was after Kobe Bryant's death too. He still says this.
But Kobe Bryant was a better player than Penny Hardaway. You know that, right? Okay. So that's what I'm saying. So that personal bias, like you have for Luka, that's the same thing Shaq got for Penny. It's a personal bias because we know Kobe is a better player than Penny Hardaway.
I feel like Penny kind of didn't even max out his.
Oh my God.
His potential as well. He got injured and then everything else.
Oh my God, Ty. It don't even matter if he didn't have the knee injuries. He would not have been better than Kobe Bryant.
We don't know that.
What do you mean?
We don't know that.
We don't know that. What you mean? Yes.
If Shaq would have stayed,
what make you think
he could have got a ring?
What make you think Penny Hardaway would have been better than Kobe Bryant?
He was a 6'7" point guard that could do everything.
Kobe's 6'6". Wow.
He could have did everything. So okay, in this aspect,
my God, Ty.
Hold on, wait. In this aspect, do you think Kobe would have won without Shaq then?
Yeah. He did.
With the team.
He did.
I'm not talking about with Paul. I'm talking about with the team that without you take Shaq away from this team.
What team?
The 2000 to 2003.
The three-peat team?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Kobe wins at least one ring with that team. At least one. Yeah. Yes. At least one ring, bro.
We wilding with that one.
At least one ring.
We wilding with that.
At least one ring. At that time in basketball, at least one ring he wins.
I think Shaq could have got one ring in Orlando.
He had his chance. He had his chance.
Yeah, he left. He still was young too. He left.
I'm not denying Shaq wasn't dominant. He was dominant, but he ain't become the diesel until Kobe Bryant came into his life. We gotta understand that, man. Kobe Bryant is the reason why the man became diesel, but the greatest.
So you basing Shaq becoming diesel all solely on Kobe Bryant?
Tell me something different.
That's too much.
I'm just saying, tell me something different.
You reaching right
I'm just saying, tell me something different. That's all I'm saying. I'm just gonna leave it there. But just tell me something different, and we can talk about it.
We also gotta think that who is his hardest center he had to face it with the Lakers? Vlade Divac.
Who you talking about? Shaq?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a real deal with Sabonis and all them. They weren't.
They was already past their prime.
Yeah,
Hakeem
I agree.
Was past
I
prime.
agree.
David Robinson was.
Yeah, I agree.
Was out the league when the Lakers started winning.
Okay.
But when he was with Orlando, he had a Patrick Ewing, Hakeem. David Robinson.
He did, and he didn't win. He didn't win though, Ty. He didn't win though, Ty. I mean, he made it one time. That's all you got to go off of, that one time. He didn't make it back. When did he start winning rings? When he got with Kobe Bryant.
Because he didn't have a big man to really guard him.
So now you're saying the NBA is the reason why?
No, I'm not saying the NBA, but I'm just saying
because the lack of centers is the reason why he won.
Pretty much fading out, but yeah.
All right, so he had one or two centers to deal with back when he was in Orlando. He didn't have a ton to deal with.
Patrick Ewing.
Oh really? Robinson. You think he really was dealing with Patrick Ewing? Was he really dealing with him?
In '96, yeah.
Did they make it to the finals, or did New York make it to the finals?
New York did make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. What, a couple years after that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was still with Orlando. Patrick Ewing still giving them fits.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna leave it with that. All right,
we need some more people.
Hey man, come listen. Everybody that's watching, please talk to Ty. Please talk to Ty and let him know what the real is. Kobe Bean Bryant, rest his soul, is the reason why Shaq is who he became playing with Kobe.
Like Charles Barkley.
I'm just telling the truth. So y'all comment down below, let us know. All right, let's knock these last couple out so we can get out of here. All right, so let's go. KD's injury. All right, so you hurt his knee.
Yeah.
Which, like we were talking about on our last episodes, KD's known for this time of year to get hurt here recently in his career. Mm-hmm. Do you think him being out hurts the Nets' chances of coming out the East? Or do you think there's still a chance for them to come out the East without?
And so when he gets back, if he comes back after All-Star break, I think it'll be
fine. Yeah. Because they say the knee injury isn't, huge concern, but of course it's KD. You want to make sure that he don't have nothing go wrong. Yeah. Well, y'all still, cause they still top 3 right now in the East. Mm-hmm. So they still got a good position. As long as they stay top 5, then you good. So I agree with you. I think as long as he come back with enough time to get himself back in rhythm, I think I still have them top 2 to come out the East. Yeah. I still like Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. And then of course I like them for the East. Because like I said, when Chris Middleton comes back, I think he gets in some real. I know he's playing some G League right now, so he should be back soon. So I think those two look like the favorites to come out of the East. And then of course Boston's there too. But I think with the way Milwaukee, how they know how to win, and then I think with the way the Nets have been playing with KD in there, I think they got a chance to come out. So all right, and the last one, then we're gonna get out of here. Let's go top 5 small forwards in the NBA right now.
Can we do that? I looked at that. I was like, positionless basketball.
Yeah, but we can still say some natural, like some people that would be natural.
So is LeBron a small forward?
Yeah, 100%.
Is Kevin Durant a small forward?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, so I go Kevin Durant. No order.
Okay, yeah, we ain't worry about the order.
Giannis a small forward?
No, he's a stretch 4.
Giannis is a small forward.
No, Giannis is not.
He was at one point.
He was at one point, but in his career right now, he's not a stretch 4. I mean, he's not a small 4. He's a stretch 4.
Okay.
So you got LeBron, KD.
What is Jimmy then? This is going back to
Jimmy's. I would consider Jimmy to be a small forward.
Okay.
Jimmy Butler.
I'm not adding him. I'm just.
Oh, okay. You're talking about
thinking of teams.
Okay.
I really don't know who has a really dominant small forward. Mm-hmm. All right, you give me your 5.
So I'll definitely go LeBron, definitely go KD, Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
Kawhi Leonard, small forward, because PG plays it too. More of the off-ball shooter than he do play small forward. But you could put PG in there as well.
Okay.
But I'm going Kawhi Leonard. And then for my 4th guy, I would probably go, let's see, who else we got out there? Small forward. I'm trying to think real quick. Teams. I'll go Jimmy Butler. I'll put Jimmy Butler in there. And then I'll go Jason Tatum.
He's a 4.
No, Jason Tatum's not a 4. Jason Tatum's a small forward.
It's different lineups.
I feel you, but Jason Tatum he's a small forward.
Because
Jason Tatum's a small forward though.
That's what
I get it, but I'm saying based off what's on when you look them up,
it says forward.
It says forward, so that's you can put him at small forward or power forward.
Well, then Giannis, you can do the same thing.
Nah, Giannis ain't no small forward, man. Giannis ain't doing what them guys do. He ain't doing what them guys do. He ain't got the skill, like the array of skill like they do. He's dominant, but he don't have the array of skill like the guys I just mentioned. Okay.
Luka.
John.
He was considered a forward.
He is not a small forward. He's not a small forward. He's a guard.
He's 6'7".
He's never played small forward. Never.
When his first year in, he was considered a small forward coming in. Look it up and let me know next episode. I'm telling you.
Why every episode Luka comes up? Why does he come up every episode?
I'm telling you.
What is going on?
I'm just saying.
Hey, somebody help me, man. Why is Luka come up every? Luka is not a small. He's not. He's not a small forward.
When he first came into the league, he was considered a small forward.
No, he was not, man.
Look it up. I'm telling you, he was considered. He got drafted as a forward.
So your 4 right now. You got.
I didn't give you my 4.
Oh, okay. So give me 3 more. You got KD, LeBron, Tatum. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of teams. So I got 3.
Yep. It's really you handcuffing me not to get Giannis.
Which, get Giannis then.
Okay, Giannis.
Okay, that's 4.
Came in as a small forward.
That's 4. Okay, now give me one more.
Guess you can go with. I'll go with Jimmy. I like Jimmy game. So I go with Jimmy.
Okay, so you go with Jimmy. Yeah. All right. This man said Luka was a small forward.
He got drafted as a forward. Look it up.
My God,
I'm telling you.
All right, man. So before we get out of here, real quick. I know we're running short on time. We could actually run overtime, and I appreciate y'all for watching and sticking with us. Shannon Sharpe and Ja Morant daddy. What you think? Real quick, go. Was it funny as? First thing, Shannon Sharpe, that jacket he was wearing, fire.
That was $3,000.
Fire too.
Yeah,
fire jacket. Hey, Shannon, good job on the jacket. Shannon showed me that he ready to go, man.
Yeah. So.
Because on Undisputed, I was a little worried because he raised his voice at Skill. I was like, hold on, Shannon. I ain't know you had them type of levels, man. But
I feel like, especially in LA, you can't have that.
Yeah.
Trash talking is gonna be trash talking, but it's a certain amount of trash talking and heckling.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
As a fan, you're basically heckling them.
Yeah.
You come to the point of heckling them.
I think. To me, I was talking to one of my boys about this. I feel like Ja Morant daddy sometimes be doing too much.
Oh, that was too much, yeah.
He be doing too much. It's like, bro, like, come watch the game. You know, you sit wherever your son wants you to sit. I get all that. But just come watch the game, bro. Don't come to the game and think that because Ja Morant's your son, that gives you leeway to just talk to anybody that sit next to you any kind of way. Yeah. And I think that's what Shannon was trying to tell him. Like, man, look, just because Ja Morant is on your son on the court, like, bro, I'm still a man. Like, you got to watch how you talk to me, especially when you talking about your behavior affects your son. And your son's ability to do other things. I don't care what nobody say. If you out there doing, like you said, heckling folks and causing a ruckus and potential fights and getting kicked out of games and stuff, it just looks bad on your son. So, but yeah, I feel like sometimes Ja Morant daddy just be doing, and some parents in the NBA in general just do too much. Yeah. Where it's like, man, just come to the game, watch the game. Matter of fact, why you got to sit courtside? Why you can't go sit up in the skybox and be away from everybody and watch your son, because you can see him just as well as you could on the court side, because they got a nice TV up there where you get the best camera angle, so it ain't like you can't see what's going on the court. So that's just my thing. I felt like that whole situation, and I know they talked it out, and I think they apologized and everything, but it's like those type of situations just don't need to happen. Yeah.
How did Shannon get to come back in? Or T get to come back in? They should have been kicked out.
Yeah, exactly. But that's that privilege, man, that you got as a well-known person. I like to call them. I don't like calling them celebrities.
Oh, okay.
He's a well-known person.
Apparently, the Memphis, he's just a pedestrian.
Yeah. Exactly. But all right, man, that's gonna wrap up episode 17. I want to thank y'all for watching. As always, make sure you comment, subscribe, and share our channel. Make sure that help us with the platform growing, and then also, like I said, comment down below. Let us know what you thought of the episode, what you thought about the topics, and we'll definitely do our very best to implement on the next episode. But until then, man, like I said, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.